Let's talk about what it is about a bank heist film that seems to fascinate audiences.
Well, I think it's the cat and mouse chase that really thrills an audience. And in this movie particularly, you know, we're seeing magic in a totally contemporary and original way, and we're seeing characters, you know, that come together as an ensemble that you would never anticipate in a world that's heightened and glamorous. And yeah, I think there are so many elements that make this a special heist movie.
I think in general, heist films tend to be kind of classified as thrillers in a way. You know, there's a lot of excitement going on. And there's a lot of like guessing games of like how they do it and if they're gonna pull it off. And I think that it makes it more engaging for an audience. You know, they feel like they're part of the heist and they're there every step of the way.
What is it about a bank heist movie that fascinates audiences?
If we pull it off, I think it's because, and particularly today, banks have your money, and they're doing their own thing with it. So I guess now I'm just guessing. I'm making stuff up here. I've never pulled off a bank job. Never even thought about trying, as a matter of fact. But in the situation we are in today, I'd be fascinated to do it because banks have turned out to be not our friends.
Well, you got the magicians who are all pulling off these heists during the course of these performances. And then you got the Mark Ruffalo playing the FBI agent, and Melanie Laurent teamed with her coming after us. You got Morgan Freeman, who's the debunker of magic, who's working against us completely. And then you got Michael Caine, who's kind of our boss, but then undergoes a little transition there. Yeah, I mean, there are so many elements that make this. That's why I really didn't know how it was going to turn out. I felt it was kind of a house of cards, and whether or not it was going to be worth watching. I was as surprised as anyone when I saw it a couple days ago. I was like, this is pretty damn good.
There's car chases, there's fights, there's some love in there, there's some suspense. Talk a little bit about all of the gumbo that's in this movie.
Well, it's sort of just, you know, it's so hard to talk about this movie without revealing the plot, and I think there are so many great twists to this film. I really don't want to do a disservice and put my foot in it, but yeah, as you mentioned, we have car chases, we've got a fight sequence involving cards, you know, and we have, you know, amazing magic tricks that are not CGI generated, that come from sleight of hand, or in my character's case, an escapologist. And I think that it's just an all-round winning film.
My character Atlas is like a great sleight of hand magician, and he's recruited to be part of this team called the Four Horsemen. And the other characters are like Woody Harrelson plays a mentalist, Isla Fisher plays an escape artist, and Dave Franco plays a pickpocket. And so we each have to use our very specific skill sets to accomplish these bank heists. So you get to see like how each of our skills are utilized to pull off these incredible feats.
You were the first one to sign on, I think, as one of the Four Horsemen, and then I think because you were working on it, Woody wanted to do it, and then I think Woody and Mark had worked together, so they wanted to work together again, and then Isla wanted to work with all three of you, so in a sense, you were kind of a catalyst for the Four Horsemen since you came on first.
Yeah, when I met with Louis Leterrier, who directed the movie, I asked him who he was thinking of for these other roles, and he told me all of the people that are, you know, wound up doing it, but I was kind of a little surprised that they thought they could get all these wonderful actors to be in one movie. And then every few months I would get a call that like, oh, Mark Ruffalo just agreed to play this part, and it was just amazing the way the cast like filled out. And I think it's because each character is so interesting, and the actors are all able to bring their kind of unique personalities to each role.
When you get onto a new movie, are you still? Is there still that wow factor, or that pinch myself that I'm actually working with Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman, and this is pretty cool.
Yeah, I had that I have it time and time again, and I'm always a little half surprised that I find myself where I find myself. And, particularly working with Morgan in those scenes, and they're not easy scenes, and he's such a great actor, and it's such composure. And to be working against him, someone who I've watched as a young actor and admired for so long, is really a pinch yourself moment.
The first day with Michael Caine, I was so freaking nervous. Actually, we were standing on the stage and we were going through how the scene was going to work, and Morgan Freeman's here, Michael Caine, Jesse, Dave, Isla, Mark. And all of us were involved in it, and it was just like, and I just kind of whispered to Jesse, "Did you notice that there's 2 living legends on this stage?"
You know, your co-stars have all said to a man that they were thrilled working with you. I wonder how it feels to, have such great fans as well as colleagues that you work with.
Feels good. I mean, there's not much more to say to that except that it feels great. I'm in the same wagon as everyone else on this. All of these actors are just terrific. I'm a big fan of all of them.
The filmmaker said that despite the fact that there's so many great actors, an all-star cast, that everybody sort of checked their egos at the door.
Oh yeah.
But just between us, who had the biggest ego, nonetheless?
In the movie?
I don't know, in the movie or behind the scenes or whatever.
There wasn't a lot of ego. It was. It's not really a group that. I'm looking over at them. It's not really a group that has a lot of that going on. And so I think part of why it works so well as an ensemble is that that isn't really part of it.
It's insane. It was definitely intimidating at first because I obviously know who all of them are and they have no idea who I am, and I wanted to prove that I belonged, even if I didn't. I wanted to at least pretend like I knew what I was doing. But they were all so nice, and for the first day they all treated me like an equal, and it was just fun to be around them and see these brilliant people do their work. Yeah.
I would think with a movie like this, it could lend itself to a sequel because there's this mythology around it. There's these characters are part of this super group of magicians, and it seems like they could do a million different things. It's not like the kind of movie where it's a true story that has a beginning and finite ending.